guys, it's Gabby. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my March wrap-up and my March book haul. March for me seemed to go on for a pretty long time. I did not get as much reading as I wanted to. The beginning of March started out really well, and honestly that's where I got most of my reading done. I ended up getting sick about a week and a half ago, and I'm finally getting my voice back. It's not as squeaky as it was, but it's still kind of scratchy. Gosh, I never used to get sick this much until I started working with kids, and I feel like I'm just always sick. Anyways, let's get on with the video. I ended up purchasing 4 books this month, and it is a series, so it's just 4 books in a series, and I read about 2.5 books, which, don't remind me, just 2.5 books. Okay, so in March, I did purchase The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini, which consists of Aragon Book 1, Eldest, which is Book 2, Brizinger, which is Book 3, and Inheritance, which is Book 4. I had actually never read this series before. I did read half of Aragon a long time ago, probably about maybe like 8 years ago, and for some reason I never really completed it, and it's actually one of my husband's favorite series, and he is listening to the audiobook of the series this month, and I decided it's about time that I read this series. So in March I did read Aragon, which is book 1. I did really enjoy it. Christopher Paolini was very young when he wrote this book. I think he was like 15 or 16. So for a 15-year-old writing this kind of story, to me, is so amazing. He's very, very talented. I love the world he creates. It's a little bit slow at first, especially with like the world building. It can drag at times, but once you actually get into the story and things start happening and there starts being a lot of action scenes, then the book goes by a lot more quickly. And according to my husband, he says that the rest of the books go by much quicker because there's not as much world building as there is in the first one. Like the first one, pretty much half of the book is just world building and getting to know the main character and learning about dragons and the special language and the world of Allegasia. I ended up rating this book a 4 out of 5 stars because, like I said, I really did like it, and honestly, I have to say, for a 15-year-old writing this book, it is a 5 out of 5 stars. But if I'm just rating the book, like just the book, without really thinking about the author and his age, then it is a 4 out of 5 stars for me. But I'm really excited to explore more of this world, and I mean, you have freaking dragons and magic, so pretty awesome. The next book I have is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This is a reread, and oh my gosh, this might be my 3rd or my 4th reread of this book. I love this book. It is a spin-off of Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and in Fangirl, the main character, Kath, her favorite series is Simon Snow, and in this book, that's what we get. We get the Simon Snow story, and it is pretty much just like a spin-off of Harry Potter, but I love it because Simon, who is the chosen one, he is the worst chosen one, and I love the romance in this book, and I love the magic system and the plot. It's just so fun and whimsical, but also kind of serious. Definitely a 5 out of 5 stars for me. And finally, I did start on Gemena by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the 2nd book in the Illuminae files. I do have a book review on Illuminae, which I will link down below if you're interested. But I don't want to go into too much detail because this is the 2nd book in the series, but this is a young adult science fiction novel, and it is written in like the coolest format that. First of all, the cover is gorgeous. I love the dust jacket and like the hardback. It's just so cool. It's like see-through, but pretty much this book is written in email, schematics, dialogue, graphics, instant messaging. It's just really, really, really cool. I've been wanting to pick up Gemena since like December, but I just never got around to it for some reason, and after ordering the Inheritance cycle, I ended up getting a little, that's why I ended up putting this one down, because new books arrived, so I really wanted to pick up Aragon. In April, I really want to finish Gemena. I think the two main books in April I want to focus on is probably Gemena and then Eldest, and I think I may be able to do that because Dewey's 24-hour readathon will be hosted at the end of the month, and I plan on making a whole video about like Dewey's 24-hour readathon for April. And now for the dreaded TBR jar. As I've said in multiple videos, I'm doing my TBR jar a little bit differently. Instead of picking a book to read for the month, I am trying to dwindle down my TBR jar by just taking out the books that I have in here. I'm honestly not sure if I read any of the books in here in March. I did start with Gemena, so hopefully in April I can get that read. And let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, so maybe I read 2.5 half books. I got halfway through City of Glass. I completely forgot. So yes, I did read, okay, so that makes me feel a little bit better. I read a little bit more because I am halfway through City of Glass. Okay, I am having so much trouble getting through this series. Clary to me is just, she's so annoying. I can't get over how annoying she is. The other characters don't, like, how cool they are and how much I love them, it doesn't make up for how annoying she is. I understood her character in the first and even the second book. She's getting acclimated to a new world, and she's learning all of the magic and like and she's going through some stuff. I'm not going to dive into that because I don't want to spoil anything, but she's going through a lot of stuff, and there's some terrible things that have happened to her. But she's kind of a brat. She's kind of childish. She doesn't think it through. She thinks that she is like invincible. She's been in this world for like a couple months, and she thinks she already knows what's best, and she doesn't listen to people that have been in this world for their whole life. She just gets herself into even more trouble, and she's like really naive. So I'm just having so much trouble getting through this series. I hear it gets so good. I hear like the twists and the plots just takes a completely different turn than like what you're expecting. But Clary, oh my god, she needs to stop being so annoying because I can't handle her as like the main character. I love Jace, and Simon is starting to grow on me too. Okay guys, well that is it for my March book haul and my March wrap up. I'm in better spirits now than when I started this video, which is kind of exciting. I thought I read more. As I was like writing down like what I read, I was like, gosh, I thought I read a lot more at the beginning of the month. I know I haven't been reading these past like week and a half because all I've literally been doing is pretty much like going to sleep. I come home and I'm just so tired. So now I'm a lot more excited. That kind of gets me in a good spirit for April. Hopefully I'll get a lot read in April. Anyways, comment down below. Let me know some of the books that you read in March, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!